Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. A little chatty one today. I thought that I would do a little chatty one, just a little random life update, random things. Excuse the state of my room. First of all, have to start with, can you believe how light it is? The clocks went back yesterday. It's really weird when that happens, isn't it? So essentially we on a Sunday morning the kids can have TV when they wake up, then we go to church like fairly early, but they also did me a lovely Mother's Day breakfast, so we all ate breakfast together, which we don't normally on a Sunday, and so they basically got about 10 minutes of TV before church. They weren't very happy about that, but I mean, I had a lovely breakfast. Josh did me little bagels with avocado and smoked salmon and eggs, so that was really cute. But yes, they weren't very happy about that. And then like last night it got to like, I don't know what time to get to, like almost like 10 to 8. We hadn't even had dinner, so we went out yesterday for lunch with some friends, and I really wanted to try this little farm place. I've heard that the food is amazing. I'm sorry, I think I'm looking at the wrong place. I think I need to look here. That's right, isn't it? I'm sure I've tried it before, and it's like if I look at myself, that works, but I need to look there. Right, I'm sorry if my eyes seem weird. I am looking at the camera. I realise that's really off-putting. When I watch videos and people aren't looking at the, like, me, I find that really off-putting. So I'm going to try not to do that. I'm sorry. Yes, I wanted to try this little farm place, but you always have to book. So anyway, I had booked, sorted it all out, paid a deposit, they asked for a pre-order, all of this. Went there, it was lovely, but the only time they had was 2:15. I booked like 3 or 4 weeks ago. They had 2:15. So by the time we'd eaten at 2:15, like a big meal, it's delicious. We kind of then didn't want like dinner at like 5, obviously, and then it just, honestly, the time with the clocks, I just got so confused, and then I ended up eating at like doing dinner for everyone at like 7:45, 8 o'clock, which is normally the little one's bedtime, which, oh my goodness, the whole thing was like so confusing. So she ended up going to bed at 9, which was like normal 8. So it's just so confusing. So today I was like, right, we're not doing that today. I got them up normal time, and then they're going to bed tonight normal time, and we just have to go with it. I hate the clock change. Why do we have to change the clocks? I don't care about the light. That's a lie. I do like the light at evenings. Why don't we keep it this way? It's really annoying. Anyway, so yeah, so this restaurant was actually a little bit disappointing because I'd heard really good things about it, and the food, to be fair, was amazing. But they had, so we'd taken this lovely couple with us, and there was 4 adults, 3 children, and I knew, like when places say how many adults, how many children, and you're reserving, and I just want to say we're all adults, and then turn up with 3 kids, because they always like give you basically a half seat for a child. Like almost everywhere does that. It was definitely worse when the kids were little. When they're tiny, they're like sat up at the table, but they're like when they're like 1 or something, but they're like touching everything. So you have to then move all your glasses. But it's like as soon as you say, oh, we've got a child with us and we need a high chair, they're like, oh great, basically we can sit you on a tiny table for 2, but just stick the high chair next to it. And I'm like, no, I need a bigger table because my baby is literally reaching its arms out and touching all the wine glasses and all the cutlery, and like they're going to smash all your stuff. Anyway, so we turned up and they'd given the kids like this little bench to sit on, which definitely was a bench for 2, and they wanted the 3 of them to sit on there. And we were like squeezed in, right? So when we walked in, there was like this right in the corner by the big window was this big round table. I thought that must be ours. That's great. Obviously we booked like 4 weeks ago. No, they stuck us on this tiny little table, which is pretty cramped, and we were right next to like when people were coming in, so it was like quite noisy, and like people kept walking past. The menus from behind kept falling on my friend because they were all like pushed up on this little table that was right behind her, like a cabinet thing, and it was so noisy in there. It was crazy. They hadn't got my pre-order because apparently there was like 5 people with Beth booked in, and they didn't know who was who, even though like my email address is like my first name and surname. It's pretty easy, isn't it? They had no idea. Then they brought us one of the children's meals it was a roast, Tape had a roast, but they bought like an adult portion. So we were like, oh, that can't be for us because we ordered the children's portion. Anyway, so they bring us back pretty much the same thing, and then charge us for an adult one. And I was like, no. But anyway, they didn't do like an itemised billing until after you'd paid. So when Josh went and paid, he didn't see it. I would have said something because I'm like more than happy to be like, hang on a minute, you need to pay me back now. But they were just a little bit like funny. And then like, so it was so noisy that after the mains, I was like, is it alright if like there's a table outside? Can I go and grab the table outside, and can you come and serve us out there for pudding, and we'll have tea and coffee and stuff? They were like, yeah. And then literally never turned up. We waited like 20 minutes and just no one came out. So we went in and ordered, which is fine. It's just like it's not the cheapest place, like kind of thing. You kind of expect like good service. And then we went in their little farm shop, and that was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous in there. Everything's crazily priced, but I found some honeycomb, and we've been doing this bee project with the kids, and we're desperate to find some honeycomb. Can't find them anywhere. I found some in Southwold, but I haven't been to Southwold since. This is weeks ago. We went to Southwold for my birthday, if you've seen my video, back in January, and I should have just got it then. I mean, how long did it last for? Probably not this long, but I should have got it then. And anyway, I have not been able to find any since, and so they had some, so I was like, right, I've got to get it. And then went to the till, and like no one came for ages, so I went to the other till, and then the lady from that till moved to the other till, and I was at the back of the queue rather than the front of the queue. It was just like one of those annoying things. But anyway, the actual place was gorgeous, and so when we were having tea and coffee outside, the kids could run around and look at all the animals, and they'd got baby lambs and baby goats. They got little calves with cows, and Sam has a mental list of birds that he wants to touch. His goal in life is to touch every type of bird. Yeah, it's a weird one. And he's touched pigeon before, because we went to this really good place in Worcester where our friends live, and they had loads of pigeons. So we all basically got Sam to stand in the middle of these pigeons, and we threw bread at him, and all the pigeons like congregated around him, and he's touched a pigeon because they're so happy, because a wild bird obviously doesn't want to be touched. Anyway, so yesterday at this place they have peacocks, and they are gorgeous. That's the first time when we went there for the first time. Hope had said something about it a couple of years now, about she'd never seen a peacock, and someone said you have to go to this farm because they've always got peacocks, and they did, and they were gorgeous, and they came around the tables because they were looking for food, which was just so funny because you just don't expect that of like a massive peacock. Anyway, so he got to stroke it, and he thought it was brilliant. My friend that I took with us is absolutely petrified of birds, so much so that she won't eat like bird, like she won't eat chicken or turkey or anything. I think she says years ago, she doesn't know what it was, but years ago she watched that like thriller, that Birds, like the older kind of film. Anyway, and that freaked her out. From then she's been scared of birds. So this massive peacock next to her was like her worst nightmare. And then at one point this other man came up to it, and so it took off and it flew, literally like skimmed my friend's head like that. She was freaking out. It was hilarious. And then there was also an emu there, and he got to stroke the emu, so that absolutely made his day yesterday. And it is like really lovely little farm. Anyway, and so then we came home, and I'm trying to on a Sunday have a bit of a rest. Like, I've been listening to this guy called John Mark Comer. He's a preacher in America, and he talks about like having a Sabbath, so having a rest. So it can be things like going out for dinner, seeing friends, going for a walk, but it's the idea is that you kind of rest. Now I think he would probably say there's no TV and no social media, and I didn't do that, but I am trying to not do any jobs and just rest, which actually does take quite a lot of effort and planning. But yesterday I did that. So I literally came home and got home at like 5:30, and I just sat on the sofa, and I was just doing some stuff on my phone, but like fun things, like it's the littlest birthday soon, so I was like having a look at some presents for her. We're going away soon, and she desperately needs a scooter, for our holiday, and so I was looking for one of those. I think I picked one up on Facebook Marketplace for a £5, which is amazing. I mean, like, that's all she needs. Her one is just, she's got a lovely micro scooter. I'd love to get her a micro scooter, like the maxi ones. But they are over £100, and I'm not spending that on a scooter, particularly as we keep them in the front garden. The other two have them because I picked them up. I've had all three of their scooters up. Total fluke one day at this second-hand children's like toy and clothes shop. It's one of those where like you can take your stuff, and if they like it, then they'll sell it for you, and you get like 40% and they get 60% or something like that. I've never taken anything because A, I basically just get everything secondhand, but B, apparently they're very picky and they'll be like, no. And I don't want someone to say no to me. So there we are. So I got there all from there, complete fluke one day. Like, wasn't even looking for scooters, just went in for, they look really good, and they are such good scooters. But I'm not going to buy her a brand new one. I've been looking for months for a second-hand one. If I see one, I will get it, but I can't find one, so I'm going to do that. But then I'm mostly going to go charity shop shopping for her stuff. I want to get her one of those, you know, like at gymnastics, they've got those triangle wedge things. So I was looking at those. A proper one is like £120, but I obviously don't really want to spend that. That's like all of her birthday money and more on that. So I've seen you can get like a soft play one for £20, so I'm going to get that instead. And then I have seen a scooter for £50. I just think it's a bit annoying to get a scooter like for your birthday. That's all her money. Like, I'd rather get it secondhand. Yeah, it's not that it's for her birthday. It's that I hate not getting things secondhand. We went and got some furniture. We needed some furniture for our extension. We haven't bought furniture for it yet, and I was like, yeah, I'm not paying full prices. Like, we need to go to the secondhand furniture place. So we did. We got something a few weeks ago, but we wanted like 2 pieces of furniture, and one they just didn't have it. Obviously, if they haven't got it in, they haven't got it in, have they? That's how secondhand places work. But I hate paying full prices. It's like, I don't like clothes shopping because I go in and I'm like, too expensive. I'm like, I can get that cheaper in a charity shop. Anyway, so yes, today, so last night then I sat down, didn't do basically anything, and Josh put the little one to bed too because it's Mother's Day, so I had a little rest, which was lovely. Just so weird going to bed at like 9, and then I set my alarm this morning. So basically, I cooked, but I had nothing planned, so I cooked all these random things, and then there was just, the house was a state because there was like washing up everywhere, stuff everywhere, where I had basically not done any housework for like 4.5 hours. So this morning I got up at 6, which was like Saturday's 5, which was a little bit of a killer. But you know, I'm treating it like normal. So like, we had normal dinner time tonight, going to bed normal time. But I did actually get all of it done. You know, like in the evening, sometimes I get a bit overwhelmed. Like, I'm never going to get this stuff done that I need to do. And then surprisingly, I always get it done. And normally in a quicker time than I want to. That's not the same with paperwork, but it is the same with that kind of work, like housework and stuff. So today we have been, doing work. It's the last week before the Easter holidays, which is lovely. Do you know what is really funny? Is I'm just really excited to spend time with my children. And I know everyone's like, but you're always with them. And I am, because obviously they're not at school. But it's like, I'm looking forward to spending time with them, not teaching them. You know, we do have like quite a good little routine now, but I'm like, now it's nice to have a little break from the routine. So I'm looking forward to that next week. And yeah, so we did some work this morning, and we are finishing our bee topic this week. It's just such fun. There's so much you can do, isn't there? So today we watched a Maddie Moat video, and we made a bee cafe, and that was really fun. We went to the garden centre and got some plants, and we went to, a WhatsApp came in. That was confusing. Went and got some plants, made a little bee cafe. I will show you. And we looked at the honeycomb, ate the honeycomb. Right, on the honeycomb, does anyone know this? There's obviously like a little bit of wax on there. Am I meant to eat the wax? Because I ate it. I mean, I'm not going to die, obviously. But are you meant to eat it? I don't really know. But that was really fun. And then I had my planning meeting. I love the planning meeting. That's really brings me a lot of joy. It's our church planning meeting, and we have it every week, and I love it because I really love doing things for church. And that is, you know, if I wasn't homeschooling, that's what I'd be doing as my career. And I expect in 10 years' time, when I've stopped homeschooling, that will be my career. I want to be a minister in a church, and it just brings me so much joy. So we plan for that. We have got a big Easter event coming up, which I think I might have said before. And so we're planning for that. Hope is actually pretty much planning it all, which is great. She loves it because she can spend money on crafts. It's obviously not her money, so she loves spending money, so that's great. That was really fun, and I think it'll be a really good time. And do you know what I'm just loving at the moment? I'm just really noticing, you know, I mean, it is also really sunny and warm, and it's amazing. I just feel like for the first time in years, I'm actually thriving and not just surviving. Again, this won't make sense unless you have seen my healing video, but I was healed from depression end of last year, and honestly, like, where before I would used to cry for sadness, sometimes now I just stop and I think, like, I just want to cry because I'm so happy. I need to not cry now. I just can't, like, you know, when you're in it, I'm like, is it really that bad? Everyone feels like this. And then now I'm out of it, I'm like, no, everyone doesn't feel like that. That wasn't, like, you weren't feeling okay. It was that bad for you. Like, it's really lovely. It's really interesting because I mean, for ages, people said, and people still, you know, are saying to me now, like, but you could never tell. You're always so happy, and, you know, you're always like life and soul. And to be fair, I do feel like when I'm around other people, I massively put on a mask and I feel a lot happier because it distracts me. But I think I've got a bit of like social anxiety in a way. I don't like go over things in my head multiple times unless I've had like an argument and so on. I am so, or I was not relaxed around people. You wouldn't be able to tell, but I was constantly like high alert, looking for do you have this where it's like, how long do you look someone in the eye for? Yeah, so I could constantly like, and look away, look back, look away, look back, because I didn't know how long to that would like consume my thoughts, as well as like think of the next topic of conversation, don't have a lull in the conversation, and that would keep me buzzing, and literally like I could feel myself literally almost like vibrating like the entire time I was out, and it would make me feel a little bit like anxious inside, but obviously completely hide it, be like over the top friendly, lovely, and actually look, a lot of that is me. I am very friendly and I love being around people and I love to make people feel welcome, but it was really interesting. So Friday night I went out with some friends, and normally I would get like buzzy, and beforehand I would, and actually normally I would get a bit of a migraine before I went out. Just the start of one, I'd often take paracetamol, but I'd often feel faint, I'd often have a headache, I would often sometimes feel like I was going to pass out, and obviously that was often before I went out, sometimes as I was out, and I would be buzzing the whole time, not relaxed at all, and it would also exhaust me. So people would be like, oh Beth, you always want to go home early, and I'm like, because I'm physically exhausted. And I don't have that now. So we went out on Friday and I sat there and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm having a nice time, but I'm just relaxed. I'm so calm. I'm not buzzing. Like, because I didn't really think, I guess I just thought everyone felt that. I don't know. But I'm really just noticing now as I'm going back to places that I'd gone when I was like depressed. and now going to them again and being like, oh, I feel really different. I really noticed it. I went to a friend's house, I don't know, 2 months ago, and I massively noticed it there, and I was like, oh my goodness, I just feel relaxed. I'm not like buzzing. And yeah, it's just really lovely. I'm just really looking forward to the rest of what this year brings. Just really thriving in life, and it's amazing. I have got loads more to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you because it's now 20 minutes and no one's going to be listening to me for 20 minutes, even though I think I'm really interesting. So I will say goodbye and I will do another video soon. Thanks for watching. If you've got this far, you deserve an absolute medal. See you soon. Bye.